Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama. This is game number 6 between SCS and iMp, that is Starcraft 2 strategy, and Team Impulse, and Neeb has made the series 3-2 in favor of Team SCS. Will he be able to finish it out right here? It is a best of 7, as he did take down the Zerg player SC Monk in the last game, and that was a 37-minute game. It was so crazy. Went to late game, and there was actually a little bit of lag. And I thought at first it might have been me. Now I'm not so sure it was me. It could have been me. It could have been Hurricane Sandy. I might just blame it on that. Maybe the game's running slow because of that. That's at least what I heard from someone else. And so as you can see, there is a little bit, a tiny bit of lag. I think actually that the lag you might be seeing here is just from the map, though. So Metropolis has actually been known to be one of those maps that excuse me, causes lag, and that's simply why it was taken out of the map pool. So it was actually in the ladder map pool at first, back in like season 5 or 6, something like that. It was added, and then they took it out, and I think it was for a couple reasons, but one of the main reasons was simply because of the lag factor that a lot of players were experiencing while playing it, and so they took it out to fix it, and it just never got put back in. So, Neeb, will he, as I said before, be able to finish this off? We have another PvT, and he's going up against Faithless, spawning up in the top right corner. Excuse me, I never even introduced the player for Team Impulse right there. So, he will be facing Faithless, the Red Protoss. So yet another Protoss player. I think this is the 4th Protoss player we've seen of this tournament, and yet another TVP. Is this the 3rd TVP? I think so. So we've had a lot of TVPs, a couple PVPs, and a TVZ, but our one Zerg that we have seen thus far has already been thrown out of the tournament. Not thrown out, I should say, but did lose the last game, of course, as you guys saw. Unfortunately, in a very long, exciting game. And so we're back to Terran and Protoss, and we'll see possibly if Neeb wins this game and SCS goes on to win it. We won't see another Zerg, but if Faithless comes out with a win, we might see SCS throw out a Zerg, which would be the first Zerg that they would have thrown out, because they have yet to throw one out. It has simply gone Protoss or Terran, Protoss, Terran, Protoss, I believe. Protoss, Protoss, Terran. Yes. So Protoss, Terran for them. So it looks like a basic opener right here for Faithless. Nothing too crazy. Just getting his gateway, getting his cybernetics core. Will he be trying to expand off of 1 gate FE as we did to a 1 Rax FE out of Neeb? Not exactly sure. But Neeb anyways going to throw it in the engineering bay just to be annoying. However, of course, Faithless going to get out the Stalkers, going to be able to get out over there. Start picking away at this engineering bay and possibly throw it in an expansion. He does have 300 minerals saved up, so I'd imagine that's what he's going for. Excuse me, my throat has something tickling it. And here he gets out, he goes for the expansion, he looks down and he says, oh man, there's an engineering bay in my way. And he doesn't have a zealot to pick away at it, so he's going to simply poke and poke and poke with his stock right here. And in the meantime, he's grabbing another pile, and he's going to be grabbing a assimilator, a 3rd stalker. So I mean, he's doing the right things and spending his money and not just sitting on it the entire time. But I mean, just great play right there from Neeb, and he gets the cancel as well with like 5 health left too. So Neeb on top of his game, as you saw previously, and getting out those 2 fast barracks again. So as we saw in the previous game, he went for the fast 1 tech lab, 2 barracks, then he went for the 2 refineries additionally behind this, and then he got a fast stim. Yep, so he grabs the stim, and then he can go for a fast marine marauder pressure. Now the difference is here he doesn't have a marauder out to deal with these stalkers, and he doesn't have a bunker, so I'm not sure I like this as much out of Neeb, and the reason simply being now he might lose a mule, which wouldn't be so fun. But the reason is simply because you need a bunker, I feel like, on these maps right here to defend. And so he's going to luckily get out of that right there. But I feel like had Faithless had a little bit more micro or a little bit more faith in his micro, I should say, he could have just picked away at this Marauder right here and just kept picking away at the Marines and being super, super annoying. So, yeah, you really generally want to have a bunker in there, and I suppose the reason that Neeb does not grab the bunker is because he does grab the fast 3 barracks right there, and so that gives him enough unit production to fend off any of those stalkers. So, will Faithless have anything out to deal with this? These gateways here are going to be going down a little late, so he's only going to be working off one gateway. Here it looks like he's going to meet him in the middle of the map, and will he just micro him back? No, it looks like Neeb sees 3 stalkers, says, you know what? I'm content with going home. I suppose he would imagine that his opponent would have had these gateways up a little faster, which is strange that he didn't, but that's okay. You know what? Everybody plays their own way. So going to instead begin these a little later and then grabbing a faster robotics base. So it looks like he wants to move into very fast Colossus production, possibly for some sort of 2-base Colossus push, which can be ever so difficult to deal with. I know that, as I used to be a Terran player, and that was probably one of the things that was just so deadly, so crushing, was when I wouldn't get a scout on the robotics bay. However, this would be a decent place for him to drop a scan. I'd imagine he would drop it something like this. So it's a good chance that he would see this robotics bay, and if he can, he'll have his starport out in time to really start getting Vikings to deal with this, and then he could still be in a decent position. So we'll have to see exactly what happens. But here Neeb's pushing out with a very scary army, and I don't know if Faithless has enough to deal with it. That's the problem. He also doesn't have enough force fields to block it off from getting to his Nexus. So Faithless right here could be in a very bad position here, as he does start to see this army right here. He's going to have to warp in a few more units. Yes, he gets another sentry in. Does he have a Colossus on the way? It is, but it's still about 45 seconds short. 50 seconds short, 40 seconds short, so he's going to be able to stem forward, start picking up these units here, and it looks like Neeb going to absolutely get in and start crushing right here. Should be able to start picking off probes. Will he target down the Nexus at all, or is he simply going to go for the probes? No, he will focus the Nexus, and Faithless just has no reaction to this. There's no way that he really can deal with it, so he's going to be losing that. Now we're going to see Neeb start pushing up into the main right here. He's going to get mineral walked, it looks like. Not even going to matter, though, as those probes fall so quickly right there, and Neeb going to put himself in a great position. The Colossus gets out, and it looks like it's going to start picking away and actually be able to clean it up. But I mean, wow, Neeb grabs himself a great lead right there, and it looks like Neeb might be able to take this game and get his team the 4-2 win in this best of 7 series right here, as he makes yet another push out with some Marines and Marauders. Vikings on the way additionally, or a Viking and a medevac, adding on more barracks as well, and he's not even adding a 3rd base. Here you can see he is definitely going for a very heavy 2-base hit. He wants to end this now, as he knows he's in a great position right there. So with the additional Vikings being made, he'll be able to start focusing down these Colossus. And I mean, Faithless is going to try and do what he can. He'll try and secure his base right here. It looks like he's going to be losing possibly a couple units for free right there. Loses 1 Zealot, but he's actually... No, he doesn't lose the Zealot. Zealot gets away with 5 health. And instead, Neeb actually going to be losing a couple units, but it looks like he's content with just waiting a tiny bit longer, continuing to let his extra base, his extra workers, work in his favor as they do continue to pump out more and more units here. And now Neeb can possibly start making a push forward right here. Needs to be careful not to lose too much to the Colossus, as like 2 or 3 or 4 units do go down right there. And here it looks like Neeb might actually need to back off until he can get some Vikings in that army right there. And instead, Faithless is just going to go for a little bit of a counter push right here. And there's the Vikings. They have now entered the army. Is Neeb going to ever turn this around? Looks like he goes for a spread and a stem, but Faithless, in a great move, is actually going to be able to react to that and pull back, and Neeb not going to be able to engage quite yet, but of course you have to remember he still does have that worker lead. He still is in a great position, still has good macro right here, and now it looks like we are going to see possibly an engagement out in the middle of the map right here. Stim does go down, the Colossus are getting focused down, and will it be enough though for Faithless? I'm not quite sure, as now we see Neeb start to push forward, going to be picking off, and that's going to be a GG. So Neeb going to actually win this 4-2 right there. He's going to win the game and win it for his team, as he wins 3 straight. And that's it for this best of 7, as Neeb takes the series. Starcraft 2 Strategy takes the series, excuse me, but Neeb takes it for his team over Team Impulse. So wow, what a series. Congratulations to SCS, and Neeb especially for winning 3 games, and of course Susie for taking that first game off of his opponent. My name is Mr. Lama. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and I will see you guys next time.